Hello students, how are you all? Hope all of you are good. Okay, till now we studied about how the anthropometric measurements should be taken. After taking anthropometric measurements, how to identify the nutritional status of the particular child or a person. That will be discussing today. Okay, so there are many indices are there to assess the nutritional status according to the anthropometric measurements. Usually in children, we consider these three. Apart from these three also, we take some other measurements and some other indices are also there. But mainly we consider this one, that is weight for age, height for age, and weight for height or weight for length. Length, when we say length, when the child is below 2 years of age. This height for age, it's a measure of linear growth deficit, or we can say that is a stunting. If height for age is less, height for age means for a particular age, the height should be this much. Weight for age means for a particular age, the weight must be this much. For example, the weight of the newly born baby should be 2.5 kgs. Means the normal birth weight is 2.5 kgs. If it is not 2.5 kgs, lesser than that, means the weight for age, it is less. The baby's nutritional status is less. Or if we take the weight of the baby for 1 year old, if it is less than 7 kgs or 7.5 kgs, it is considered as the poor nutritional status, because the baby's weight will increases thrice or 3 times in its 1 year age. If its birth weight is 2.5 kgs, when it reaches to 1 year of old, it must increase 3 times, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Means it is 7.5 kgs. If it is less than that, means the baby's nutritional status is not good. It is poor, or the baby is malnourished. Like that, we can identify the nutritional status of the children. That is weight for age, height for age, and weight for height. Weight for height, it is also W bar H. It's a measure of weight deficit according to the length or according to the height. If the weight for height is lesser for a particular, if a baby is 100 centimeter, its weight should be so and so, like that. If it is less than that, it is considered as malnourished. The very good word given to that is wasting. Okay, like this we can identify the nutritional status. Then how it is done, how the weight for age is taken, how the height for age is taken. We usually measure the weight, or we measure the height. Then how we come to know that this much of weight or height should be for this particular age. So for that, some standards are there. WH standards are there, NCHS standards are there. NCHS standards like National Center for Health Statistics. According to that only, we see the standards, and we consider or we calculate the percentages. Some classifications are there. One classification among that is the Gomez classification. This Gomez classification, it is only for the weight for age. Gomez classification is there only for the weight for age. Here he said that, or this classification said that all the cases of edema in third degree irrespective of weight for age, means all the weight for age, if it is less than 60 percentage, they are considered as third degree protein energy malnutrition. All the children who comes in this third degree, they are having the edema irrespective of, even though their weight for age, they comes under this or without in this area, they are considered as, or they are having the edema, like that it says. So what this Gomez classification says, the child nutritional status, these weight for age or height for weight for height and height for age, these are mainly the indices used for the children to assess the nutritional status. We say that, or this Gomez classification says that, we consider the normal nutritional status of a children means if its weight for age percentage is more than 90 percentage. Less than that, that is the first degree PEM, that is protein energy malnutrition, and second degree protein energy malnutrition. If it is lesser than 60 percentage, it is considered as the child is severely malnourished, or it is third degree protein energy malnourished. Okay, then how this percentage is calculated? We saw that percentage, no? How that percentage is calculated? That Gomez classification percentage, it is usually classified. Here the child's weight is compared with the normal child of the same age. The weight for age percentage, that is weight of the child, existing weight. Okay, then weight of the normal child of the age, of the same age. If we are taking weight of the 1 year old child means we have to take the normal child of the same age. Then where we get this weight of normal child of the same age? These we get from the standards. Okay. Then for example, weight of the child. If the weight of the child, existing weight, if 1 year old child is weighing 6 kgs, what is the standard of the or a standard weight of a child of the same age? That is 7.5. 6 divided by 70.5 into 100. Like that we get some percentage. With this percentage, if it comes more than 90%, it means it is in the normal, it is in the normal condition. Okay, like that we classify the children according to weight for age. Similarly, we have the standards for height also. Okay, here we can see the assessment of nutritional status according to Waterlaw's classification. In the previous slide, we have seen that the assessment of nutritional status according to the Gomez classification, where he has classified the nutritional status only through the weight for age. Here, this classification gives the nutritional status according to height for age and weight for age also. Okay, height for age means it is stunting, weight for age is wasting. Here we can see through this table that if height for age is more than 95%, that child considered as normal child, and if it is less than 85%, that is severely malnourished child. For weight for age, the normal child is having 90% and more than that, whereas mild malnourished child percentage is 80 to 90, moderately malnourished, that is 70 to 80%, and the children who have less than 70%, they are considered as severely malnourished. That is according to the Waterlaw's classification. Okay. And next we can see here that is the IAP classification. This is another kind of classification through which we can assess the nutritional uh, assessment of the children. Okay, in this table you can see these are weight for age percentage for 50th percentile of the Harvard standards. 50th percentile, usually we have some standards like first percentile, second percentile, third percentile, 25th percentile, and 50th percentile, 75th percentile, 85th percentile, 95th percentile, like that. Here usually we Indians consider the 50th percentile. According to 50th percentile, in these percentiles the standard values will be given. Okay, and how see here, if this percentage is more than 80, the child is considered as a normal, or the nutritional status of a child is normal. If that percentage is 71 to 80, the child is grade 1 malnourished. If it is 61 to 70, grade 2 malnourishment. If it is 51 to 60, grade 3. If it is less than 50, grade 4. Grade 4, this is severely malnourishment of the child, or the child is considered as severely malnourished. Okay, that is all about weight by taking the weight and height. Next, the standard of mid upper arm circumference. Once we take the mid upper arm circumference, how can we assess the nutritional status of the child? These are the standards. This standard is for the age of 5 years. Okay. If the MUAC what we have measured is more than or equal to 13.5, then we can say that the child is not malnourished. It is in the normal condition. This is given by the WHO organization and United Nations Children's Fund in the year 2009. Okay, these are the WHO standards. We can see the child is moderately malnourished if its MUAC is 11.5 to 13.5 centimeters, and severely malnourished children will be having the mid upper arm circumference that is less than the 11.5 centimeters. This is not only for 5-year-old children. The standards are there for the older children also. By considering those standards, or by comparing the existing MESC with the standard, we can say that nutritional status of the child. Okay, one more thing, that is the Z score. So nowadays this Z score seems to be very important. By using Z score only, the nutritional status of the children, even in the younger children and adults also, is calculating, or it is considering. It has been using more, because this gives more accurate value. So here it says that it is depends on the minimum many numbers of standard deviation. This is more. Here you can see more than or equal to -2 Z score, -3 to less than -2 Z score, less than -3 Z score. Here you can see, here Z score means 0, that is the median. -1, left side -1, -2, -3 will be there. Right side +1, +2, +3 will be there. It will give the assessment, or the nutritional assessment for weight for age, weight for height, height for age, and for other all anthropometric measurements. It will give the values. By seeing the Z score table, we can assess the nutritional status, in which standard deviation the child comes, and how is its nutritional status, or how we can assess whether it is normal condition, or it is malnourished, severely, moderately, or mildly malnourished, that we can say. So one again the WHO, it says that weight for age according to Z score, if it is more than -2 Z score, the child is well nourished. This is same for all, weight for height and height for age also. And moderately malnourished children, they will be having -3 to less than -2 Z score. Severely malnourished children, it is less than -3 Z scores. It means if it is weight for age Z score, they are severely undernourished. We can say weight for age, undernourished, weight for height, wasting, and height for age as severe stunting. If it is less than -3, it is severe stunting. You can go through the Google and you can see the Z-score table. If possible, you can download the Z-scores table and you can see the values over there. Okay, you'll come to know what is that. Exactly like how we see the logarithmic table, no? Like that only we have to see. Then what is it Z-score? Z-score, it's a system expresses the anthropometric values as several standard deviations below or above the reference mean or median value. Because the Z-score scale is linear summary statistics such as means, standard deviations and standard errors can be computed from the Z-score values. That is why it is more accurate. That is why nowadays the Z-score only is taking for assessing the nutritional status. So how is this? It is, what is the value or what is the formula for the Z-score? It is measured value minus average value in the reference population divided by standard deviation of the reference population. Every time we are not calculating the Z-score values, it is already ready table. We get the ready table only. Only thing is we have to see where uh, the weight falls. If you have taken anybody's height or a weight according to their age or the according to their height, so we have to see if for example weight for age means in one side they will give the weight and one side they'll give the age. So for example 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, or 1 year, 2 year, 4. They usually give month only. Like this, they'll give month this side, and this side they will give the standard months. In between, if this is a standard, in between that -1, -2, -3. After this standard values +1, +2, +3. So we have to see if this is 2 months or 1 year. 1 year means 12 months. We have to see where the child weight falls, whether in the -1, -2, -3 or +1, +2, +3. Like that, we have to see and assess the nutritional status of the child. Once you go to Google and check the Z score, you'll come to know how it is exactly. Okay. Next is the head and chest circumference. This is usually taken for the children, and I said that in the previous while discussing about how the head and chest circumference is taken, we are given that the head circumference is more or the larger than the chest circumference at the birth. See, birth head circumference usually it is 35 centimeters. After 3 months it will become, these are the normal values, whatever the values here given are the normal values. What happens to the chest circumference? The head circumference is more than the chest circumference at the birth, that is by 3 centimeters. Okay, when the child reaches 1 year old, the head circumference and chest circumference will be same, equal. Whereas after 1 year, the head circumference is lesser than the chest circumference. It doesn't mean that the head circumference is becoming lower. No, see, we can see the head circumference is, it is increasing only. After 1 year, the if it is 45 is the head circumference, chest circumference is also will be 45 years. After that, the it will be, head circumference will be increasing only. The chest circumference increases in the rapid way. It increases more. It will be more than the head circumference, and it should be. Okay. That is how we assess the nutritional status of a child. If chest circumference is lesser than the head circumference, means something is wrong with the child. Okay, like that we can assess the nutritional status by seeing the head and chest circumference. Now coming to the nutritional status, uh, usually this is standards are used for the adults mainly. It is given the WHO standards and the Asian criterias. For BMI, we usually call BMI, that is the body mass index. This is done for all. Earlier, this was uh, there only for the adults, that is above 18 years. Nowadays, when the Z score values had come, these values are also there for even the children also, the small children and also the older children. Okay, according to this is WHO criteria BMI cutoff, and this one is a Asian criteria BMI cutoff. Before going to this, we just come to know what is this BMI. BMI means it is weight in kgs divided by height square in meters. If we put our weight and height in meters, height square in meters, then we get some values. After calculating this, whatever values comes, if the values comes as less than 18.5, it means they are underweight. It is same for both WHO and Asian criteria. Both are same. We say normal values. If the BMI falls in between 18.5 to 24.9, they are in the normal condition. But the Asian criteria say that nowadays these values are considering for the Indians. If the BMI falls in between this 18.5 to 22.9, they are considered as normal. And if it is 23 to 24.9, they are considered as a overweight. And 25 to 29.9, they are considered as pre-obese. But this is not there in this WHO criteria. Okay, so we should follow this only for Indians. See, obese type 1, it is again same. Obese type 1, obese type 2, obese 3 is again same for both, same in both WHO and the Asian criterias. More than 30 BMI is says about obese. Obese type 1 is 30 to 40, obese type 2 is 40 to 50, and more than 50 is obese type 3. They are super obese. Okay. Okay. Then the another index, that is the BROKA'S index, and it is very simple index. See, if you have taken height and weight, how to assess the nutritional status, whether they are in normal or they are overweight or they are underweight or they are obese, like that. Okay, height in centimeters minus 100, that will give the IBW, that is ideal body weight. IBW means ideal body weight. So how it can be done? Okay, height in centimeters. For example, if one person is 150 centimeters, we have to minus 150. We have to minus 100 in the 150. Okay, 150 minus 100, what value will come? That is 50. So that person should be 50 kgs. If it is 50 kgs, then we can say that he is in the normal condition. Here they have given the persons with IBW, this value 10 to 20% more. If this IBW is 10 to 20% more than the normal, I have given an example. No, 150 mind. If person weighs his height is 150 centimeters, if you minus 100, that answer will be 50 kgs. So that is a normal. If 10 to 20% more than the normal, or 10 to 20% more than that 50, 50 here I am taking only the example. Okay, we can say 10 to 20% more than the normal, he is mildly overweight. 20 to 30% more than the normal, again overweight. 30 to 40% more than the normal weight, obese. More than 40% he will be severely obese. Similarly, 20 to 30% lesser than the normal weight, he'll be considered as underweight. 30 to 40% lesser than the normal weight, severely underweight. And when we consider that as a normal, if we calculate the percentage, if it comes 80 to 120%, we consider that person as a normal. Okay, like this we assess the nutritional status according to BROKA'S index. Next one is waist hip ratio. We usually take the waist hip ratio, no? Then how to assess the nutritional status by using the waist hip ratio? So waist hip ratio, you can see here, if it is less than or equal to 0.9, it is acceptable in man, whereas in female, if it is less than 0.80, it is acceptable. It is in the normal range. If it is more than that, means they are not in the normal range. They are obese, or they are overweight, like that. Okay. Waist circumference, usually nowadays only the waist circumference is taken, and more importance is given to the waist circumference. The male, they should uh, have their waist circumference less than 102 centimeter, and females should have their waist circumference less than 88 centimeters. If it is more than that, means it is considered as they are overweight, obese, or severely obese. It says about the thickness, no, abdominal fat. It says about the abdominal fat. If it is more than that, means they have the more amount of abdominal fat, right? This is one more index, that is ponderal index. The ponderal index, it is a ratio of height and the mass, that is the weight. How we have to measure? It is height in inches divided by cube root of weight in the pounds. Okay, when we calculate this ponderal index by putting the values, if the values comes less than 13, that is associated with the obesity. If it is less than 13, it is associated with the obesity. If it is 13, it means it is in the normal condition. Okay, students. Now we saw all the kinds of or all the indices or the calculations or the standards of the nutritional assessment through the anthropometric measurements. Means by considering the anthropometric measurement, how can we assess the nutritional assessment? About all these things we discussed. Okay, in the next class we discussed about how, according to the clinical assessment, how can we assess the nutritional status. Okay, now we'll stop and then we'll meet you in the next class. Okay, thank you.